Good afternoon, listen to Lab Life on Radio Lab 97.1 FM. You're with me, Jack Beeston. I've got Louie Smith with me today.
Making a change.
I know, we're here 3 till 4. 3 till 4, that's right, yeah. And we've got a very special show today.
An extremely special show. We have Broken Lens Productions in the house.
We've got a very full studio.
Very full.
Yeah, so we've got Broken Lens. They are a production company from Luton. And with us, we've got Kazi.
Yep.
And we've got Alex.
Hello.
We've got Taniqua.
Hi.
And we've got Dami.
How you doing?
Good, we can hear everyone, that's good.
It's a good start.
Yeah, it's always a good start. So, you're from Broken Lens. What is Broken Lens? Someone tell us.
Broken Lens is a production company from the community, and we aspire to make all types of media, from music videos to short films to commercial and just adverts of live events in the community.
And you've just done your first film, I believe.
It's our first commercial film.
First commercial film. Okay, and how did that come about? How long has it been in the process?
It's actually been almost a year in the process.
Wow.
I came up with the idea after reading a short story by Charlie Fish about a husband and wife playing a board game of Scrabble, who they talk about their lives and they commentate about how they're drifting apart and that the love really isn't there anymore. And I took it one step further and added more characters, fleshed it out and everything, and came up with All to Death.
For anyone listening, it's not your typical game of Scrabble.
No, definitely.
It's not just a film about Scrabble. Where did the name Broken Lens come from?
Oh, interesting story actually, because we were all creating this experimental horror film. And Alex had
An old broken lens. Judging by the name.
Yeah, and we used it to film our horror film, an experimental one, and it created this really interesting ripple effect, and so on. We kind of called ourselves Broken Lens from there on.
People knew us those are guys in the film with a broken lens, and we were like, oh, sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
So me and Louie got an exclusive look at the film the other day. We were very impressed, weren't we?
I couldn't believe how professional it was, to be honest.
Really good. Like I say, it's so reminded of us film noir. It's like that almost 40s feel. It's brilliant.
It felt very special seeing a film before anyone else.
I know. I know. VIP. And for everyone listening, we've got a little tiny clip that we can play you of the film. So tune in to this and see what you think.
It was love at first sight. She became mine, my woman. She belongs to me, my goddess, more precious than any gem. Mine.
Ooh,
Nice little teaser there for everyone.
so tense. I love it. So, what are all your backgrounds? How did you get the skills to do this? You know, are you uni students? Are you professionals?
Well, we all met in college, and from there, we all just saw that we had the love for film, and we learnt by doing.
Yeah, we all have different skills, and we thought that if we combine these specific areas that we're skilled in, we can make a really good film. We're not really formally educated in university or anything like that, but I grew up making films all my life, really.
We started out making, me and Kazi, we started out making some short films on the side, and I used to just work in the background, you know, make the music for it, maybe sometimes acting, maybe sometimes boom, and, you know, just watching him work, kind of getting inspired, you know, trying to expand, and then, you know, just finding my foot, and then, you know, making this film. So yeah,
We've already seen some people say you've got the most fun job. How difficult is it to sort of relate to the film or come up with the ideas?
Well, it's really not difficult because we have different inspirations. So when we come around a table, we have ideas flying all over. You know, there's people inspiring people because we come from such different places. And people say it's the most fun job, but when you're actually doing it, it's
long hours.
It's long hours. But I would say making the music is really fun.
Talking about the music, I think I saw that Rika Muranaka was helping you guys out. She's obviously worked on Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill.
Yeah.
How did you get her to get on board?
That was just incredible luck. That was just I'll let Kazi tell the story because he's
I'm a big fan of Metal Gear Solid, and I love Rika Muranaka's work. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Rika Muranaka's work and her compositions with, you know, that she's made, like The Best Is Yet to Come from Metal Gear Solid 1 in 1998. I really loved it when I was growing up. I listened to it continuously, and one day I showed her the trailer for Bored to Death, and she got really interested, and I told her, you know, I was a fan of her work, and she just asked us, you know, how about I compose a couple of tracks for you guys.
You can imagine how skeptical we were as it first.
Yeah.
What? No, that's not happening.
Yeah,
But
but we had a couple of meetings in Skype, and we just talked for a couple of hours and talked about what kind of style we wanted the music to be, and she was all for it.
I think the soundtrack marries the film style so well. I think that's one of the great things about the film. I think the soundtrack, the style of the film, and the subject, I think it all marries together perfectly, and that's why it works. So, did you have anything to do with her, Dammy, or was you completely in post-production?
What with Rika Moran?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we talked to her for a while on what we wanted her to make, but knowing where she's come from and what she's done before, we just kind of said, okay, you just
go there.
You just do what you want, and we would give our opinion if we like it or not. So she made her tracks, we listened to it, and we loved it. So she got it right on the first try, which
you'd expect from a fresh.
I hope so, wouldn't you? Dammy, you've made us a little song clip. Tell us about that.
That I actually they didn't know I was making it until like the film had finished. I just thought I have some more fun with it and just make a house track, lay over some voiceovers on the track and see how it works. And it turned out to be really good. Everybody liked it, so I thought why not.
What happens if it gets into the charts and you decide not to go down the film route anymore
and ditch all these guys?
No, fingers crossed. I'm not gonna leave that. Fingers crossed.
Definitely.
I'll stay with you guys. Don't worry about it.
I'll tell you what, we'll play that song for you now, and we'll be back right after this. This is Dammy's track. This is Bored to Death.
Her lips, her pretty lips. I'll challenge her about Nicholson. He can't protect her now. I've got a friend in need, and this is how he pays me back. Putting him to sleep will be enough to pay the debt. Wife, life, cheated. How much does she know? How much does she know? Wife, life, cheated. How much does she know? 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 She belongs to me, more precious than any gem. Mine. This bastard could have slept with my wife. Stupid good for nothing like him just makes my blood boil. Then again, could be anyone, but I'm looking for a fight tonight. Anyone stands in my way will get a trip to the hospital. Even this clown.
I strongly suggest that you forfeit yourself to the authorities.
Here is my forfeit. Spend. Don't lust for their beauty. Don't let their kindness seduce you. For a whore will bring a man to poverty.
That was nice, wasn't it? Listen to Radio Lab 97.1 FM at Lab Life until 4 o'clock with me, Jack Beeston. And we've got Broken Lens in, Luton Film Production Company. And that was Dammy's own track there. And it's an exclusive. We have an exclusive play here on Radio Lab for that song.
It's I would say you're incredibly lucky, but you know.
Yeah, incredibly lucky. And there's also another song planning to be out very shortly, yeah?
By Nikisha Esnard.
Okay, I'm sure we'll get that on Radio Lab at some point. Okay, so, Taniqua, what was your role in the whole film?
Well, my role was to mainly help Dammy and make sure everything that he'd done was just make sure he was okay with everything and like making sure the days ran smoothly, planning the scenes, scheduling the days, making sure everything went well, really.
Did you encounter any really big problems along the way? Any difficult people?
Talk about the extras. Some of the extras when we were shooting the club scene. You remember that girl who kept on asking if there was any food?
Any food, any drink. It's just like you're on set, like come on.
But you know, they did us a favor, but you know, there was days like that, but we always found a way to make sure
it was fun, really, and just get over it.
And you mentioned the club there. That was filmed in Luton. It was all shot across Luton, am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did you get permission to say shooting Edge, shooting all the places that you shot in?
I suppose it's all about contacts, really. We did have a lot of contacts, so we was lucky to have that.
And we just went over there and asked, basically, and just make sure we're as respectful as possible. Yeah. And they were just generous enough to give us the location. And the second one that was amazing was the church as well, which we just went over and asked, can we use the church? And they agreed, and you know, acted like real Christians. You know?
And why did you choose Edge nightclub? Because we were saying it went so well. It looked like almost a grotty American bar or a Spanish little side bar. I think it worked really well. You can't tell you're in Luton with that.
Yeah, a lot of people say that that you can't really when you watch the film, it doesn't look like it was shot in Luton. There's no kind of iconic things,
which is nice, by the way. I think I think it would spoil it if it was.
We specifically designed the set. We dressed the set in a way that you couldn't tell. Also, it was a noir film, so we didn't want to make it look too modern. So we kind of didn't have too much technology in the film, so you couldn't see any TVs on phones and stuff like that. You can really pinpoint where exactly and what time we shot this in.
And it's a zero budget film, so how did you make it? Like, we're stumbling at this fact. Like, how do you get all the equipment, and how do you fund the project really?
Well, equipment-wise, we own a lot of our own equipment in-house. We shot with personal equipment which we've had over time. We all own a piece of this, say, company equipment.
Club together.
But basically, we just went around making loads of commercial stuff, commercial work, and over time we collected funds to buy our own equipment, not for the film, but just for our projects in general. Mm-hmm. And I know it looks like a lot higher budget than it actually is, but it's all to do with basically lighting and quality control. Really, we didn't really have much equipment.
Credit to your skills as well as filmmakers to do something on low budget and make it look so slick.
Yeah. How long were we on set, Taniqua?
Hours and hours. 15 to 16 hours.
Yeah, because usually we would start around 6 a.m. in the morning. And we'd have the actors come in 4 p.m, but we'd be setting up hours before they come in. So as soon as they come in, all they have to do is just recite their lines and talk with the director, and everything else is set for them.
I mean, one of the scenes that were the house scene, we shot with the actors. They came. It was the first time we actually did a shoot with them, and we made them stay up past to 4 a.m, and we were all absolutely shattered after that. But,
very dedicated they are. They absolutely love the story and working with us, so it was a pleasant atmosphere.
How did you recruit the actors? I was quite interested to know that.
Websites, really.
Yeah, just the usual online casting websites. Everyone is outside Luton again, and they came down and they were skeptical about us at first, but we proved to them.
I think the main two characters, the husband and wife, I think they played off each other really well.
Yeah.
Did they have that did they have a chemistry together when you first saw them, or was it something they had to work on?
Josh was a really good talker.
Yeah, no, definitely. When they first met, the whole team and them and each other hit it up, because we created an atmosphere where everything was nice, everything was pleasant, and everybody wanted to talk to each other. So there wasn't like a week where we had to make them go out and talk. They just met on that night. They spoke to each other and they found each other very compatible.
The wife in the film reminds me a lot of Basic Instinct. Was that? I know you don't want obviously make too many comparisons, but is that a character you sort of went for?
You can certainly make that comparison, especially the way she presents herself as this kind of demon, a succubus, attempt to what? Dummy?
Attempt to, oh my god. I can't believe you put me on the spot.
Yeah.
I forgot.
But very feminine and very powerful and persuasive.
Tempting.
Really. Yeah.
That's a nice word to say.
Yeah.
just so the audience know how much actual effort went into this film. One of the props took 3 weeks to make, didn't it?
Oh.
Do you want to explain about that?
The actual person who made it is actually our grip and camera operator, which is we made the confession box for the confession scene, which surprisingly enough was actually shot in Edge.
But also the board game.
Yeah, the board game actually, yeah.
Yeah, the board took a very long time to make. Max Richardson and Dean Sam, they both contribute to making the board, the design and everything. It took weeks on end.
It's something that you really notice as well, because obviously when I was watching the film I was like, wow, that must have really you could have easily used anything, but you actually went for it.
Yeah.
Remind me of Jumanji.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
As a joke, we kind of we wanted to make it a merchandise.
Oh, that'd be great.
And have the actors sign the back or something like that.
No, we did. We the last shoot, the last scene, we got all the actors. Well, we got the two main actors, the wife and husband, and we got them to sign the back of the board.
Oh, that's good.
And a little sign off. Say goodbye.
Okay, so we listen to Very Lab 97.1 FM. We've got Broken Lens with us. We're going to play a bit of Kai's Chiefs and we're back straight out of this with the guys. Welcome back. Listen to Radio Lab 97.1 FM and we're with Broken Lens Productions.
Whoop, whoop. we made a bet that we would do that. So.
That's fine. Do it again later. And with you till just about 4 o'clock. And Broken Lens have a new film coming out, their first commercial film called Bored to Death. Now, we want to know a bit more about the cinematography and the style. Who inspired you to, do that kind of style?
Oh yeah, of course. And Kenji Mizoguchi films and the Ozu films as well from the 1940s and 50s. Absolutely love Akira Kurosawa's work as well with Seven Samurai. Their black and white cinematography especially inspired me to think about lighting, composition, and really what they meant to the story. And that's essentially what my work is, to serve the purpose of the story and the director's vision.
And for someone who doesn't know, how hard is it to achieve these, the light and dark contrast, the shadows?
Oh, it takes hours. It takes hours of kind of thinking and discussing with your department. Hamza Ahmed and Thomas Marshall, they were my gaffer and camera operator, and I gave them lighting plans and discussed with them how I wanted the film to look, and coming up with ideas of how we can make the shots look as contrasty and beautiful as possible, really.
And like I say, the film end product is brilliant. So what are your plans to do with the film now you've got it in your hands?
Our plans are that they'll be sent off to film festivals, hopefully be picked up, a bit of recognition from there, and from that we're also looking to doing a screening in Luton at some point.
Okay.
Looking for a location for that right now.
Of course, it's a commercial film now. Right. It's public, but it's more like to introduce ourselves.
Okay.
We're Broken Lens Productions, and we make these types of films, really high quality films with very little budget.
Yeah.
So somewhat you can show future actors maybe that you want to work with.
Yeah, I mean, this really started out as a hobby, and it's been growing and growing as this big thing.
Although there's been producers that have come up to us and they'd love to make a full-length version of the film. We're currently discussing about where we could take this further.
Yeah.
So do you have plans to take it further, or is it a bit hazy?
Hazy, yeah. I mean,
well, black and white currently, we've been doing black and whites for almost a year now.
Yeah.
I think it's time to add a bit more colour.
We certainly have other ideas of projects, other films. We've been speaking to writers from America and people interested in doing a bit higher budget projects. But we'll see. We'll see where in the future.
So you are interested in doing colour films. You're not going to stick to the film noir. Not everything's black and white in your eye.
I know in our Facebook page everything is black and white, but it's really just to keep with the theme of the film, really. But when we do start working on more coloured orientated projects, then we'd go back to normal.
Yeah.
And I've seen you've got loads of posters that you've got. And where are they going to go? Because they are brilliant.
And
who designed them, by the way?
Yeah, Max Richardson and Dean Sam, they designed the official poster 1, which is the artwork, and then there's the second one, which Hamza Ahmed photographed of the wife and husband looking at each other. That was more of a commercial type of poster.
Obviously, so much has gone into the film. How many people do you think roughly were involved with the whole production?
In the whole,
I'm just gonna just to give a quick overview. I'm just gonna call out some people's names and just
Yeah, go
because
for it.
we never got to do it before. So there's obviously
This is a shout out.
This could
just a
take a
shout
while.
out. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's a shout out. I'm gonna say shout out to Kazimir Zenizman over there, the cinematographer. Shout out to the producer. Shout out to Taniqua Reynolds. Shout out to Hamza Ahmed Photography, who did the camera work, and he was the grip. He was always brilliant. He built the confession box, which was amazing. Shout out to Arman Habib, who was my first assistant director. Absolutely brilliant. Shout out to Thomas Marshall, the gaffer, who helped to put the lights where they needed to be. And shout out to Andine Sam, who worked on all the posters, who worked on the board, and
Also the photo book.
also the photo book, which
really
is
hard
coming
with
out,
that.
which is, oh my God, it's amazing. Shout out to Max Richardson, who also worked on the poster and the board, and he worked tirelessly for about 3 weeks with other work outside of this, and just saying thank you to those people as well.
Then it's worth saying they were all unpaid as well. So.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
all
all
unpaid. Yeah,
volunteers,
exactly. Yeah.
Probably the hardest question you've had so far. I'm going to go around the room and ask for your favourite film.
oh,
I know that I couldn't answer, I couldn't personally answer this question, but if first one that comes to mind.
No cop outs, by the way.
okay, you go first, Kazim.
I think,
Sancho the Bailiff, right?
yeah, it was Sons of the Bailiff.
Yeah, I was thinking, why
But,
didn't you say
I mean,
that?
there's so many great films.
Yeah.
So, I mean, currently, my latest one, Like Father, Like Son by Hirokazu Koreeda, who in 2013, he released a film about two families who basically swapped babies when they were younger, but didn't know about it, and kind of they go through these ethical issues and stuff. And I love the story, and the performances were amazing, and cinematography as well. Of course, as a cinematographer, that's what I look at. But I was greatly inspired by it when I shot this film.
Danny?
Mine would have to be an Indian film called Sholay. It was made in around the 1970s, around then. One of the biggest movies ever made about then. And actually, what's actually happening outside the Festival of Colours, there was a scene in the film where there was a Festival of Colours, so this was amazing to me. Yeah, that's my favourite from Sholay.
And I'm sticking to what Alex said, Pulp Fiction. Definitely.
Louis?
Don't put me on the spot. It's a cop out, but Dark Knight, I think, rises.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going to go with Memento. I've got a newfound love for that
Yes,
film.
great film.
It's a good
Yeah,
film.
that is a good film.
Got two Nolan lovers here.
Thank you.
Actually, no, I'll say Alien. I don't know.
Oh, Ridley Scott.
See, we could just stay here all day and talk about our favourite films.
Anyway.
Right, let's talk about favourite actors now. So who would you love to work with? You have to pick one person.
Okay, I already know.
Do not say that.
I already know. Kevin Spacey.
Oh my
You can stay the same. We'll let you
Yeah,
stay the
because
same.
it's House of Cards
Yeah.
season. Everyone's on that Spacey
It
jam.
has to be Spacey. I mean, he's amazing.
But you've got Brad Pitt, haven't you?
Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot.
Yeah.
Of course, Brad Pitt first, then Kevin Spacey.
I'll take Kevin Spacey any day.
I think I'd go Brad Pitt. Snatch.
I'd say Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Again, we could stay here all day and talk about
I
this.
mean, this man, he's done loads of roles. He's kind of like a chameleon, blending in with every role he gets.
Right, finally, describe the film in 3 words. Or we'll say 4. Everyone has 1 word.
And you can't mention the words bored to death. Or broken lens.
Okay, you go.
With me.
Let's go the other way around. Go to Taniqua first.
I don't have one word. I just have absolutely amazing.
Let's say amazing.
Amazing.
3 words. Shall we say 3 words?
Amazing. Intense.
Yeah.
Tense.
Scary or dark?
I'd say, 3 words, right? Wife. Life.
What are your plans from now? Have you got any plans set in stone that you want to do? Any new films you've got? Have you stories you've got ideas? Or?
Well, we always know Dammy's working on a new project. He's always coming up with different ideas. He always pitches us a new idea every week. But we are concentrating on commercial work right now. Lots of work coming up, and see if this other work in London will come up.
And also, some people who have seen the trailer and our previous works, they've been coming up to us and asking if we could help them out, and we basically offer our services.
Yeah, of course. If anybody wants to ask us for, say, do a review a bit of work, or if they want help, we'd love it.
And we'll put your contact details on our website, so
As well as the trailer.
As well as the trailer.
Finally, for all the listeners, when is the film coming out?
Oh yeah, of course.
That's the key
Well,
question.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, currently it's in film festivals, and official selections will be announced around June, August, and once it's finished its round in the film festivals by the end of this year, it should be released by next year, early next year.
Brilliant.
Ooh.
Well, I like its chances in the film festivals.
Yes. Yes, keep us updated.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Broken Lens, for coming in. We've been absolutely great, and the film is fantastic. We'll put the trailer on our website, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.